Hello guys, this is Ashant. Welcome to the first episode Death. This is a very basic concept of life, a very important process of life, basically more important process than birth. I being a very keen and fond person to see the social psychology and mass mentality, I have very less frequently heard the importance or any positive and good things directed towards the topic of death. Everybody seems to see death as the destroyer of life, end of the world and the painful end to a happy life. The very key to enjoying life from my point of view is to know the importance of death and act accordingly. By that I mean, death can be perceived as the end to your journey that one has experienced for their lifetime by achieving the goals or targets that were meant to be met for you or simply your calling. The very concept of life can be debunked as the process of knowing your passion and reaching up to it before you run out of time. When people say that you are running out of time, people tend to think it's just today, I have tomorrow, but the deal is that these people who are in the higher ranks know that people with low economic standard are not scared of death but just run after the money figure to make their life a bit better, due to which the world takes advantage of such people and make them more miserable to just meet the end with no accomplishment in their life. When someone is working in the hour-based jobs and get paid as per hour of work done instead of quality and quantity of work you can accomplish to get done per time, it means that they are robbing you of the time when you can do anything to benefit yourself or to the ambition of your life. But now, as you are doing the work to make them successful and reach their goal, you are compensated for your wasted time to make a real difference. The clear picture that none is seeing is that they are giving you money to take life away from you and invest that for them to make them richer, but you remain in the low lines tangled with the stocks to be shelved. This is a very sensitive matter for everyone to know. It is a very important lesson to know that death and end to life is not to be feared on. It should be the motivation of your life, your way to climb the ladder to reach your goal. Everyone is trying to influence the world in today's time, looking for the exposure, the one and only driving factor of today's community. Why do you think people are after the fame? Why are people competing for reaching the top percentage of influencing people? This is all because as you no longer remain, you leave a footprint, which still reflects your shadow down to people who are still alive. The beauty of death is not seen by anyone farther from the truth. After all the books I have read, after all the death I have experienced around me, the one and only mark a person can leave behind are first your deeds or influence, good or bad, secondly your children, and thirdly, the most important one, the fact how you met your end. Among all these, the last one is a bit confusing. Let me break it down. You struggle all your life for money, fame, and power. Everyone is trying their best in the middle part of the life, which is important for the conclusion, but the way it ends matter. For example, let's say someone is speaking on a matter in front of thousands. The most important things that anyone notices is the opening of the act and the conclusion. The part where you speak in the explanation phase is preparation for the conclusion. It supports the statement, and the way you explain indicates whether you have a positive or a negative conclusion on the basis of your opening statements. This is actually the summary of one's life, the way that one can experience his life. You were born, which is not on your control, as you don't always have control on the topic you are speaking about. It is based on luck, but the whole process where you explain, contradict, and support the statements, there are millions who judge you based on how you present yourself on the matter. As in your life, you have to go through people who you agree with, who you disagree with, and those who you don't want to talk to. 2. But you need explanation for everything just to satisfy the audience around you. Sometimes they influence your decision as you want to be accepted. Who the hell wants tomatoes and eggs thrown to them in a show by presenting the violating views that everyone hates? All this is the build-up that you maintain, and then you stick to an idea while speaking that will be the base for your conclusion. Likewise, you get a partner in life who you stick to until the death separates you with them. There are discrepancies, like what will happen when the idea you want to stick to is not a valid one for the audience. Then you have two options: you fight for it by defending it until the show is over, or you drop it, which exactly is same with a partner, as the society may not always be accepting for the flaws that you don't have any problems with, may be unacceptable to the world, so you defend them or leave them. Now let's focus on the main topic for today. The conclusion or death, cause it is an inevitable part if missed out on, makes the whole thing meaningless and unsuccessful. Now it all comes down to how you can end the whole thing you worked for. It all comes down to the impact you made this whole time when millions and millions were watching you. The whole essence of life is how it ends. The eternal peace is claimed as you don't live anymore, but you are still talked about. Your steps are still followed by people. Your help still warms someone's belly with food. Your children still think of how you were the best parent they could have got, and how even your picture brings people joy and happiness. So, the way you meet the end is when you die, you have the satisfaction that even if there is God out there, He would be happy with what you have accomplished as you followed the true path to reach you happiness that ended up helping and influencing all these people, and you left with a very positive impact on everyone's heart. So, the most important thing is how much one has accomplished unaffected by their birth. As you came naked and will leave with people's cries, but depends on if the people are crying 'cause you left or are crying with happiness that you left. So, it's in your hands how you want to conclude your long run, so start working what you should be working on and make the difference that you were meant to make. Don't let the process distract you from the beautiful end you want to meet, and don't be afraid of it, but embrace it and live your life when you are able to.